Hi there, this is the Gruenfeld Trap in the Blumenfeld gambit, and it's taken from Ernst Gruenfeld's famous victory against Bogoljobov in 1922. After d4, knight f6, knight f3, e6, c4 and c5, white continues with d5. And after b5, we've reached the standard position of the Blumenfeld gambit, the Blumenfeld counter gambit, which is a brother of the more topical Benko gambit, with the main difference being the inclusion of this move, e6. White continues with bishop g5, and I should state that the Blumenfeld counter gambit is a favourite of a dear colleague of mine, the director of the legendary Blumenfeld chess club in the UK, Anthony Kent. But back to the game. After bishop g5, Bogoljobov chose h6, hitting the bishop on g5. And does the bishop run or exchange? Here it exchanges. Bishop takes on f6, and after queen takes on f6, knight c3 is hitting the pawn now on b5. Well, either it advances to b4 or exchanges on c4. If it advances to b4, the knight is going to jump in and hit the c7 square. That could be met with king d8, or, as was played in the game, knight a6. White plays e4, but in so doing is offering up the b2 pawn, which all too often is a poison pawn, as is the case perhaps here, after Bogoljobov accepts queen takes on b2 and bishop d3. Here white is already doing better, and Bogoljobov chooses, as many players do, to get the queen out of trouble as quick as possible. Queen back to f6, but that more or less induces e5, hitting the queen again. And if the queen were to run to f4, then the queen's going to be lost after g3, and the queen will then move on to g4. Let's just run through these moves. If queen to f4, then g3 is going to hit the queen again, and after queen to g4, h3 looks as if it's going to be picking up the queen. Where's the queen going to run now? Well, the only place is going to be to h5, but after g4 the queen is lost. So here the queen has to drop back. After e5, the queen drops back to d8. But now white can trade pawns with d takes on e6, and after d takes on e6, queen a4 looks a good try, but even better is bishop e4, offering up the trade of queens while hitting the rook on a8. So queen takes on d1, rook takes on d1, and black moves the rook out of harm's way with rook b8. But after bishop c6 now, king e7, knight takes a7 is threatening to take the bishop on c8 and then invade with a rook to d7. Well, Bogoljobov here played g5, but perhaps better would be f6 or f5, but it really makes little difference because black here is busted in all variations. After g5, which was played in the game, here a nice try by white. Instead of capturing on c8, here we have the idea of square vacation. Bishop vacates the c6 square by moving back to b5, and the knight is all ready to hop into there to check. And in the game, bishop g7 was played, allowing knight c6. After king f8, rook d8 is checkmate. So this has been the Gruenfeld Trap in the Blumenfeld counter gambit. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.